said a boom, 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 and let me hear you say chanka. Boom chanka, lads and lasses. How's it going, everyone? It's the Flying Pig here on Flying Pig United with another cheeky little transfer video for you. I hope you're having a good evening. Shout out to all the Bacano Brigadiers for getting in here tonight. Let's see who is in here. Thank you very much for waiting while I get going here, by the way. A couple of minutes late. Bloody gas-tastic green screen, man. I mean, it sort of looks all right now, but trust me, it takes me freaking ages to sort that out every single time. I should just start earlier. But anyway, we got going. We're only a few minutes late tonight, so shout out to you all for stopping by and getting in here. Cantonar 7, lad. How you doing? Ethan Robson, yes, mate. Carlos Nod, what's going on? Pig, he says, Pig Legend, thank you, mate. Jez Bish, Alex, how you doing, mate? Dropping that fire. Good to see you there, Alex. Well, hello there. Gabriel Lopez, howdy, partner. Adil Varuk says, it's sunshine, the pig is online. Yes, Adil. Glenn, hello to you too. Becky Hope, Aaron Homeyard, Kareem James, the trooper, Mark Voot. Yes, lad. Sphinxu, Mark Pentive, Sandeep Barash. The legends just keep on a-coming, lads and lasses. Anyway, I hope you're all good. Shout out to all you guys for stopping by here tonight. Smash us a like on the video, and let's get stuck into this one then. So, where do we begin? It's Diogo Dalot time. Let's have a little chat about Diogo Dalot. So let's just kick it off right now by saying that it's understood Diogo Dalot? Diego Dalot. It's a pretty difficult name to say that, actually, you know. Diogo Dalot is not happy with his current situation at Manchester United and is keen to leave. However, he doesn't have permission from the club to leave. This is via Duncan Castles from the Transfer Podcast, anyway. And some other reports coming out as well saying that there was inquiries in this transfer window from such clubs as Lille, who have put an offer in for Diogo Dalot on a permanent move. United told them that they would only accept and sell Diogo Dalot to them for 22 million euros. So, and Lille were willing to buy him, but they wanted to include a big sell-on percentage and have a lesser amount of money, and United rejected, basically. That's what's being reported anyway. So that's new information this evening, which is quite interesting, really, because it seems like Manchester United would probably be looking to move Dalot on then if a big enough offer came in. 22 million euros, somewhere around that for Diogo Dalot, may be enough to prize him away from Manchester United. Look, he's a decent player. I think he's so young still that you could give him time to develop and he might just develop into an absolute beast. So in a way, it would be kind of foolish to let him go unless you were going to get somebody else coming in. But this is where we're sort of talking about Brandon Williams and the fact that he is a right-footed player, the fact that he is playing left-back, and look, he could be shunted over to play instead of Aaron Wan-Bissaka when he's not fit or needs a rest. Over on the right-hand side, Brandon's still young, he can obviously play both sides, but I think he would probably benefit from being over on the right and deputising for Aaron Wan-Bissaka. So if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer thinks that Diogo Dalot is not good enough for United, then I guess he would sell him for that sort of amount of money, and Manchester United would be looking to recoup some more money. I am a little bit undecided on Dalot. Look, I don't think he's really shown anything. Over the last season, I thought he was gash-tastic. He didn't really show us much at all. There were a couple of games where he came on and he flew down that wing and he created a few things, but most of the time he was pretty freaking bang average, my friends. Whereas, like, if you take his season and compare it to somebody like Brandon Williams' season was okay, had a bit of a ropey end to the season, but actually there was a good spell of consistency. There was some big boss games in there where he's absolutely bossed it. And Brandon Williams really did well in a lot of games, showed a lot of glimpses as what he's capable of. Whereas Diogo Dalot, not so much. But look, I do think he's got good options, you know, good option for going forward in the future. Like I say, he's totally different to Aaron Wan-Bissaka, so he can go forward and he can attack. He's not so great defensively, whereas Aaron Wan-Bissaka is this absolute rock at the back. So have a little vote in the live chat, lads and lasses. Smash a 1 in the live chat if you think it's time to sell Diogo Dalot. Let us know what you guys think in the comment section. Ellie, how are you doing this evening? Yeah, all good over here. Hope you're doing well. Glenn says Dalot's not good enough, but Donkey James is. I mean, look, you make a good point there. I mean, look, what has Dan James done? I mean, to be fair to Dan James, though, he actually had 2 months of absolute quality at United when he first came in. Come on, don't forget that. The first 2 months of the season, Dan James was bossing it for Manchester United. He literally was. He looked awesome. Whereas Dalot's never really had that spell of consistency at all. Dan James went off the boil. But look, you can see glimpses. That's what I'm saying. You can see potential in players. Dan James obviously got potential. Diogo Dalot's got potential too, but I just haven't seen enough of that potential. Ivor Biggin comments 1. Victor Davies comments 1. Jonathan Gallagher 1. Atrex, how you doing, buddy? He says 2. Well, hello there, dropping the 2. Ellie and Alex both say 1. They think sell him. Sorry, not Ellie, Ivor, and yeah, Ivor again. Well, hello there with the two. Hey guys, yeah, it's an interesting one, isn't it? I personally think he's worth probably getting rid of if you're going to strengthen. Like, there's no point getting rid of Diogo Dalot right now if you're not going to strengthen. The fact is, he is only 20 years of age, or 21 is he now? I don't know, but 2021, I think he's only 20 actually. Like, he's pretty young, this kid. So give him a few more years to develop. He can play that bit part role. But it's difficult breaking in. It's difficult for Diogo Dalot. He's only ever going to play that bit part role. To have that consistency and be able to develop in this side is going to be difficult for him, because you've got the spider, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, just sitting there with his 8 limbs, just ready, just alert, just ready to go every single time. And it's difficult for Diogo Dalot to do anything about it, to be fair, to get in there. We've talked about it before, maybe moving forward a little bit, being some sort of a winger, some sort of a pacey winger, which something is, United are currently lacking right now. Could be an option, but look, he's young at this moment in time, so I'm not too worried about Dalot. Get your thoughts and opinions in there, whether you think that it's a player that's pretty much surplus to requirements. He doesn't spring to my mind as being a player that should be going away from United ahead of gash-tastic players like Phil Jones or whatnot. But obviously Dalot's not on the sort of money that those guys are, whether it's Lingard or whoever. He's not on that sort of money. So for a club like Lille or another football club that are interested in taking him, then it becomes much more of an attractive proposition if he's only on, I don't even know what he's on, 40k, 60k, whatever he is. It becomes a much more attractive proposition for a football club like Lille to come in and get him. So look, we'll see if that happens. We'll see if Lille or anybody else would improve an offer and come in for Diogo Dalot. But that's what's being reported right now, that we've turned down an offer from Lille, and there were other inquiries from clubs as well, but we're only willing to sell for 22 million euros, and also we're not willing to do anything in terms of future structuring or sell on percentages and stuff like that, which is an absolute piss take, really, isn't it? How bloody ironic is that from Manchester United and the Glazers? Literally, they structured debt for this whole club and trying to buy players like Jadon Sancho whilst paying monthly instalments over years and stuff like that. What a piss take! Oh my god! But anyway, that's being reported, lads and lasses. So get your thoughts in. Kareem James, how you doing, Kareem? He comments, Dalot swap deal for Jadon Sancho plus cash. Well, it'd have to be a lot of cash, I think. I don't think Diogo Dalot's worth all that much, but you make a good comment. You make a good comment. Like Dortmund, surely they would rather have a player come the other way than not have a player, especially the longer this transfer window drags on. They would want to improve themselves, whether it's a Jesse Lingard or indeed like a Diogo Dalot or even an Andreas Pereira. No, okay, not an Andreas Pereira, no. They wouldn't want Andreas Pereira, but the other two, maybe they would just consider having him, lads and lasses. So that's actually a pretty astute comment that you made there, my friend. The Trooper, hello mate, he says, thanks big for your time, we're so lucky, no worries at all, The Trooper. Just thank you all for watching. You can do us a favour by smashing that like button if you haven't done so already. That'll help this channel out and this stream out loads. Shout out to you all for getting in here tonight. We've got Cantona 7, JP's in the gaff as well. Big up. Glenn as well. Look at all these legends getting in here. KM, how are you doing this evening as well? DHR Clips Games. Great to have you all aboard the Bacon Express. So let's see what else you think about Diogo Dalot then. Good evening, Pankaj Palhawanu. What's going on? Kayam comments, would you play Dalot as a rotation right winger if you was manager? Yeah, I mean, me personally, I would keep him because at this moment in time, we don't really have much in the way of a backup right back. I mean, I guess we've got Laird and Fosu Mensah and these guys, and you could play Brandon Williams there, which I think is a good option as well. Like, deputising for Aaron Wan-Bissaka would be a very good job for Brando. He's 19, looking great. Different sort of a player. So, yeah, I think that would really be quite good. Dalot going forward, I think, is better than defensively. So, yes, I don't see why. You can see him beat people and get balls in. It's just really the final product, the delivery and things like that I haven't been impressed with so far. But he can get past people, can't he? He's nippy. He's very quick. He's nippy and he can get past people. He's absolutely not a bad player at all. But it's another Matteo Darmian situation for me where he's just probably never going to do all that much. Hey, Atrex, thank you so much for the super chat. He comments, Jones to retire at United. Atrex, cheers, mate, for the super chat there, dude, and the Phil Jones emojis. But look, I think, yeah, I don't know about that. How long is this contract? How long is Phil Jones' contract at Manchester United? Because, crikey, I hope it's not a long contract. But yeah, I mean, I don't see how anybody else would really want to pay the money that we're paying him. So you might be onto something there, whether or not he goes on a free at the end of his contract and then moves to another club, i.e. Accrington Stanley, for a much lesser deal. I don't know. But at this moment in time, I can't see another football club coming in for a deal with Phil Jones. Actually, we were talking about some of the other options that were on the table. I mean, we weren't talking about this realistically, but there was some talk yesterday that somebody like Diogo Dalot would be available this window. And of course, maybe they would, Inter would fancy taking on Phil Jones like they have all the rest of our rejects this season. So that would be brilliant. But I don't see it happening, my friend. I don't see it happening. But look, I don't think Phil Jones is going anywhere, guys, because he's too much of a Gurner. No, he's too much money. He's just too much money. Shout out Glenn as well for the 11 knock there, my friend. Knock, knock. Who's there? It's Glenn with the 11 knock. Nice one, Glenn. Cheers for that, dude. JP says, guys, let's get a Phil train going. Alex says Phil Jones to Kettering Town. I mean, yeah, now we're getting along the right lines of the standard. No, to be fair to him, he's actually been decent in the past. I think I see him being like a Fulham player. I think Fulham, lower Premier League, sort of fighting for relegation, that suits Phil Jones down to the ground. Lots of opportunities to be absolutely calamitous at the back. Lots of opportunities to be an absolute gelatinous mess at the back. Phil No Bones Jones playing for Fulham, spot on. Go and reunite there with Scott Parker. I think it'd be brilliant. I'd love to see Phil Jones play for Fulham. So yeah, or somebody like that. I'm just thinking, Newcastle was supposed to be interested in him. They were on about trying to get him, but again, it's the money that's involved that makes it impossible for a club like Newcastle to consider somebody like Phil Jones on 130 grand a week when he's absolutely bloody gun-tastic, lads and lasses. Alex says Burnley is his level. There you go. I mean, I'm not sure if Daichi would like Phil Jones too much, to be fair. I think he likes to be the biggest Gurner in the dressing room. GR7 says he's pulled a blinder stealing a wage at United for almost 10 years. Yeah, he really has done. When he came in for, was it £18 million from Blackburn? Sir Alex Ferguson signed him. He actually showed a lot of promise to begin with. I remember him doing some crazy marauding runs from deep. But ultimately, in and out the team and injury issues here and there. Sidetracked from entering gurning competitions and things like that throughout the years. He's taken his eyes off the prize, my friend. I don't know what it is with him. He's just too much. He's just too calamitous. He's too calamitous. He's like the English David Luiz, but almost worse. So it sort of depends what happens if another club comes in for a bid with Phil Jones. But at this moment in time, I think we're stuck with him. I think we're stuck with Phil Jones. Smash a 1 in the live chat if you think we're stuck with Phil Jones. Cress Welsing says Duncan Edwards. Duncan Edwards, what a bloody legend. Such a shame we never got to see sort of what he would have gone on to do with his career, because by all accounts he was one of the most special young talents ever to grace the game. Alex with the 1, Aaron Homeyard with the 1, Iden Norway with the 1, JP the Trooper, Jim Joe Bobley with the 2, Matthew Carter with the 1, Palmerius, hey, how you doing, Palmerius? Great to see you, lad. Thank you for getting in here. Victor Davies, Benjamin Aaron says, hey, Pig, how's it going, Benjamin Aaron? Okay, Cantona 7 comments. Is Rojo really worth anything more than 5 million? Worth just letting him go and freeing up the wage bill? Great comment here, Cantona 7. I guess we'll get onto this new bit of information we've got now. So it seems like Manchester United, this is also from the Duncan Castles chat, but also some other reports coming in. Slightly different other reports I'm seeing that Estudiantes have lodged another loan deal for Marcus Rojo, and Manchester United are considering this at the moment. So there is some reports to say that he was training away from the side, like he was separated and segregated, obviously with the social distancing and things like this. But it kind of makes sense because obviously they are talking about maybe moving away. Chris Smalling also training away from the side. So it's a precaution just to make a transfer more plain sailing. So Marcus Rojo, there is a possibility that he'll be going back out on loan to Estudiantes. There's also a believed to be an asking price of about 8 million euros on his head. So if anybody wants to pay and get that money and get him, then he's probably available because, like we said, the different scenarios and situations with the trading and the fact that he was surplus to requirements last year, I don't really see what's changed. I know Solskjaer has sort of come out and said that he's been quite impressed with him, but realistically, he's still surplus to requirements, isn't he? We still want to promote the youth, whether it's Mengi or Tuanzebe, and Rojo just doesn't really fit the bill, especially if we bring in like Reguilon as well. It's like, he's never really going to play at left back there, and he's never going to play at centre back. He's just on a reasonable amount of money doing nothing. So I think a really good chance for him, and what makes sense is a return back to Estudiantes on loan. So there's some reports of that. We'll see if anything happens with that and materialises in the next couple of days. But I just wanted to bring it up because it seems like a likely prospect for this window that Rojo would return to Estudiantes. And or maybe somebody else will come in for a bid. And also in regards to the other transfer, in regards to Diogo Dalot, look, I would rather keep him than not. But if we need to generate cash, if we can go and get another player that's going to benefit the first team now, i.e. a centre-back, and still get Sancho and still maybe get Reguilon, then I would say, you know, it's not the biggest loss in the world losing Diogo Dalot in this window. Matty the Rushmeister, thank you very much for the super chat. He comments, Marcus Rojo, get your bags, the engine's running. Great to see all these legends in here. Nice one, thank you Matt Rush for the super chat there, dude. You absolute legend. Yeah, pack your bags, Rojo, mate. It's time to go back to, I don't know, where is he from? Rosario or something, probably Buenos Aires. I don't really know. I think it's Buenos Aires actually, but either way, shout out to him. He's a bit of a beast, to be fair, you know. I wouldn't want to come up against Rojo, to be fair. You know, he seems like a bit of a street guy. I reckon he could tussle handle himself. I think he can handle himself, Marcus Rojo. But that's what I like about him. He's a tough character. You know, he is good in a tackle and all that sort of stuff. He's not afraid to get stuck in. But I just don't think he's really good enough or shown enough to Manchester United over the years to really deserve and warrant a place in the side on decent money right now, when Solskjaer's trying to do this transitional period and get rid of the gash players and improve them with good players and try and get this new generation of players, getting all these young talents into the side. So, yeah, to me, Marcus Rojo is surplus to requirements, lads and lasses. Have a vote in the live chat. Do you think we should sell Rojo? Stick a Y in the live chat for yes. Stick an N in the live chat for no. Ah, yes, nice one. Shout out to all, there's over 200 of you in here now, so thank you very much for stopping by. Hope you're having a great evening. Hit that like button, lads and lasses. Smash a cheeky like on it if you haven't already. That'll help us out tremendously. Cheers. Sanket Vegan Car says, United are ready to talk. Sorry. United are ready to walk away from the Sancho deal. This means that we should expect the signing soon. Same things were said during Bruno's and Maguire's time. There you go. It's all this PR pressure, drip feeding this pressure into the media, trying to get some sort of reaction and hastily speed up the process with Dortmund. They're at it as well, playing firm, trying to squeeze as much money out of the deal as possible. We will get onto Jadon Sancho in a little bit, but just to deal with Rojo and stuff like this. Jim Joe Jobley says, yes, sell him. RAF22, mate. Great to see you, RAF22. Yes, lad. He says, watching from NY. 19 years since 9/11. Love the show. RAF22, thank you so much to you for commenting here all the way from New York City. And I do just want to say, actually, everybody, who was ever affected by that, I know all the people of New York City, I just want to say our thoughts and our prayers are actually with all the people of New York City right now, because obviously it's a tremendous city and that was a heinous act. And there were thousands of people that lost their lives in that 19 years ago today. I remember it like yesterday, literally emblazoned in my mind. I can remember finding out, getting home from school, watching it all on the telly all night long. It was mental. So it was one of the most horrific things I've ever seen, and I can't imagine what it would have been like for the people of that city who actually lived in New York and had to endure all of that and maybe lost loved ones in the most horrific way possible. So to me, I just want to say shout out to all the people in New York. We've got a lot of subscribers actually from New York here, a bunch of subscribers anyway, including RAF22, you know, Ruddy, of course. I think Tento Cisco's over that way, and a bunch of others as well. So I just want to say shout out to the MUFC fans in New York and all the people in New York as well. Everybody stick a love heart emoji in the live chat for New York City and the people obviously that were lost 19 years ago to this day, because that is just one of the most horrific incidents that I can remember in my lifetime. Anyway. Cress Welsing, hang on a sec. Cress Welsing, how you doing? He says, same thing was said when we were in for Griezmann and we did walk away. Yeah, well, that's interesting. That's true. I mean, sometimes it just doesn't work out. Depends if the deal's mental or not. Seaborn, gracias. Gracias, senor. Thank you so much for sending your super chat in, mate. He comments and says, Dean Henderson should be the number one choice. Mate, Seaborn, gracias, mate. Gracias, my friend. Gracias, amigo. He says, yeah, Dean Henderson. Look, okay, I can see what you're saying there, Seaborn, gracias. I mean, he did have a really good season against, for Sheffield United, sorry. And the season before, he was impressive, helped them get back up to the Premier League. And then in the Premier League, he just had a boss season, really. Like, didn't really put a foot wrong. Definitely had a better season than David De Gea in my eyes. De Gea made way too many errors. But what you have to remember about De Gea, he's been doing this for absolutely years for Manchester United. This guy is a seasoned vet in every single sense of the word. He's won our Player of the Year multiple times. He's played for Spain a bunch of times. He's a very experienced goalkeeper. What is he, 30, 31 now? He's should be at the peak of his powers. Unfortunately for him, I think he's just had a blow of confidence to the cojones, to the mental cojones. You know, because it seems like he's just hunched over at the moment, and he's error prone. He's just making silly errors. He's not concentrating as well. He's low on confidence. Maybe you can argue he's not quite happy with the back line in front of him. But even so, the schoolboy errors that he committed throughout the season last year, atrocities. They're not acceptable, man. They're not up to United standards. So yeah, look, I like De Gea. I think stick with De Gea because he's been so good for us. And look, the old adage is true: form is temporary, class is permanent, and he is a classy player. He actually showed that the other night for Spain, didn't he? He was a class act. So let's just give him the benefit of the doubt. He has won us games single-handedly before. That game, was it last season before last or something, against Tottenham, springs to mind, where we just got absolutely peppered by Spurs, and he's probably made about 11 world-class saves. Stuff like that. He's had his moments, hasn't he? He's had his moments last year being gash, but he's also, fair to say, he's had his moments being tremendous for Manchester United. So give him a little bit of the benefit of the doubt there. But Dean Henderson, look, he's a great talent. He's 24, he's getting better. He'll be David De Gea's long-term replacement, most likely. I don't see why we would have got him on such a big deal for a long-term contract for a backup player, 120k a week, if he wasn't in the long-term plans of Manchester United. So I don't know what this means for Sergio Romero, whether he's going to stick around the club as a third backup, or whether maybe Henderson might be loaned out if he's not going to be played ahead of De Gea. But I just like the fact there's competition for places. And to be perfectly honest, I'm not bothered who our goalkeeper is. I just want them to perform. So even if they rotate, even if they play bloody half for half, I don't really care. But really, I just think David De Gea should be given the opportunity to prove himself once again for what he's done for this football club in the past and how good he is on his day. Because remember, he's a match winner on his day. But yeah, he has been gash recently. So you've got to accept that and say, Dean Henderson, it's great to have him there. And if he comes in, I won't be pissed off either. Seaborn, gracias, amigo. Thank you very much for that, mate. Thank you, lads and lasses, for stopping in here. Cantonar7 with a super chat as well. Top lad. He says, NY with a love heart. Look at all these love hearts coming in for New York City. Can't believe that's 19 years ago to this day. It's a ridiculous amount of time that's gone by. So yeah, so there's that. Right then, okay, let's talk about Jadon Sancho just a little bit then, lads and lasses. And then we'll get back onto some of the other cop. Actually, let's just deal with Seaborn Gracias' super chat there, because it does make sense to find out what you guys think. So just comment, or you can put a 1 in the live chat for De Gea and a 2 in the live chat for Henderson. Who would you want to play for Manchester United starting in the first game of the season against Crystal Palace? 1 for De Gea, 2 for Henderson. Viking Red with the 1. Caden Smith with the 1, Becky Hope with the 1, Aidan Cantona with the 2. Mostly 1s here. I think I did allocate David De Gea 1. I've actually got that terrible of a memory. Connor Kay, Moody, Lynette Giggs, all with the 1 there. Lucy Galbraith 1. Footy Talk Dean. Henderson, says Jez Bish. Alex with the 1. Sanket, look at all these 1s coming through. So yeah, so you all think David De Gea then, right? Most of you think David De Gea. Fair play. I'm with you, to be fair, because of what he's done up to this point. I think you've got to give him another chance. But I do like the fact we've got the depth and the quality there. Anyway, so Jadon Sancho. Thank you guys for voting there. It seems like De Gea gets it. Connor says De Gea, yes. Becky Hope says, what about Romero? We haven't given him credit he deserves. Yeah, I mean, he is absolutely unbelievable. He's one of the best backup keepers I can remember United ever having, really, if not the best. Because when he's been called upon, when he's been put in the side and has to perform, he more often than not has done. He's never really made too many mistakes. I can think of 1 or 2, but certainly compared to David De Gea over the last however many 20 performances, he's been much more solid. So to me, Romero does deserve a lot of credit, and I think that if we could keep him around the club, it's not bound to have him around the club, because he's a good enough player. But look, maybe Dean Henderson should be loaned out another season then, if that's going to be the case, though, because we're just paying money out for goalies. But look at Spurs. Look at some of these other teams. They've got 3 goalkeepers, 3 good goalkeepers, 3 goalies who are being paid decent money to be there. It's all about depth and competition. Depth and competition is very important in a football club. So I just think if United did actually sell Romero, and Romero wanted to go and be a backup at somewhere like Villa, who he was linked with, it broke down because of the money, but he was linked with Villa, then it would probably be to be a backup as well, based on the fact they got Heaton and other players. If he was to leave, I would hope he would go somewhere to be the number 1. But if he's not going to do that, then United should just keep him, because it's not going to hurt having Romero around. Matt Rush says Romero will leave. He won't be happy being third choice. I mean, yeah, look, there's a difference between being third choice and second choice, to be fair, because look, there's a lot of competitions. If you go to a big club, look at what he's done. He's actually had a really great run in United's team over the last few years, all the way to winning Europa League finals and things like that. So fair play to Sergio Romero. He does deserve a lot of credit for what he's done, and he has been a great cup keeper and a great backup keeper for us. So I'm with you, but I think you're probably right. There is a difference between the third choice and the second choice keeper. The second choice keeper at a big club who are in the Champions League and things like that, they're obviously going to be able to offer you a lot more games than a lesser club. So Aston Villa doesn't really make as much sense either, but there you go anyway. Yeah, nice one. I think you're right actually there, Palmeiras. He says Romero over Pickford. Nice one, lads and lasses. So anyway, Jadon Sancho has revealed that he's sometimes late for training due to a sleeping problem and still needs to improve his professionalism as Manchester United brace themselves for a battle of wills with Borussia Dortmund over the England winger. So basically, Jadon's just been not asked. He's not been going into training on time and things like that. I think this is obviously something that's probably going to stop the moment Manchester United do hopefully sign him, because this is probably all to do with, like we've been talking about, trying to fashion a move away from Dortmund to Manchester United. So we'll see if that materialises. There's just a little bit of information about Jadon being late for training and all this type of stuff. So he's sort of playing the game at the moment. It sounds like he's obviously trying to sort of fashion a move away. Pancash Palwani says Jadon Sancho removed Dortmund on Instagram. Is that legitimate? Is it, Pancash? Because that is pretty funny if he has done that, isn't it? Like, why would you even do that, to be fair? But that is quite funny if he's removed Dortmund. There's little clues like this that I do like to look into. Like with the Reguilon stuff, the fact that he had that little selfie with De Gea, and then he followed a couple of United players. I think it was, who was it? Was it Rashford or Greenwood and Pogba or something? I don't know, but he followed a couple of United players. He changed his badge. He changed his profile picture, his avatar, from a picture of him in a Sevilla shirt or a Real Madrid shirt or something like that to something else in the Spain shirt. Obviously, it is international break, so maybe there's that. He changed his bio, and removed the team from it. So I like to look into little clues and little hints like that just as much as the next person. So fair play. If that's legit, you got to love it, don't you? If he's unfollowed them at this moment in time. Ida Norway says it's true, Pig. Nice. That is sick. I love it. If he's unfollowed, why would he unfollow them though? That's like breaking up with your ex or something. It's just petty. Why the hell would he follow them? Why wouldn't he just stay followed to them? You know what I mean? That's a bit harsh, Jadon. You know what I mean? I'm just going to unfollow you, and now I'm leaving. Blocked. Freaking blocked. Dortmund blocked. Alex says Manchester United are yet to lodge an official bid for Jadon Sancho, but work is now on for it. Okay, nice one there, Alex. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Yeah, absolutely. In regards to Jadon Sancho, the reason I'm just talking about that is because we all know the situation with Sancho is Manchester United have agreed to personal terms with the player. That has never been the issue. Jadon wants to come. Solskjaer is desperate for him. He's his top priority target this summer. The issue has always simply been that Manchester United cannot agree the fee with Dortmund. So, yeah, you're absolutely spot on there, Alex. That is the situation at the moment. There's still no notice of an official bid being lodged, but also at the same time, maybe they're just doing it quite discreetly at the moment because a lot of information has been leaked, and from what we understand, the board are not too happy about that, and they're doing things a little bit smaller at the moment, a little bit more discreetly. So I think like I said in the video earlier, I don't think they want to be made to look foolish again. If they go back to Dortmund with a lesser offer, and Dortmund say, no, sorry, he's ours now, we're not selling him at all unless you pay us 120 mil, that's it. No, 120 mil up front, that's it. And if they decide, you know what, we can't afford that, we're going to spend that 120 million elsewhere, then they can just sort of pull out the deal without saying, without it being an official failure, if you like, in the eyes of everyone else. So I think that's what it's more about, really. I think it's just being private now because they want to get some sort of a verbal agreement in place or some sort of agreement in place with Dortmund, so that they can do the negotiations and then basically just be ready to announce it, obviously, because at this moment in time, if they fail with the Sancho bid, they look like an absolute bunch of tits. And of course, we need to get him in there, but there's also other players available. So to be fair, if they do want 120 million, it is a shit ton of money in this current climate. So there's a good chance that they would pull out knowing our board and our list. I personally think you should spend the money on somebody who's 20 and getting better and has got that longevity in the game. But it is a big amount of money to put into one asset like that. Anything can happen. He could break his leg the next week. So you have to be understanding of that situation, and maybe that money would be spent better elsewhere. So maybe they would back out. Maybe they would try and get a few other signings in there. There's talk about Kingsley Coman. There's talk of Dembele. There's talk of, there's loads of different players that United could sign for less money than Jadon Sancho that would do a very good job at Manchester United, I'm sure, because that is a huge amount of money to spend. The point of spending 120 million on a player like Sancho, though, is to make a statement and also have a great player, of course, for the next decade. 17 goals, 17 assists in 34 games last season. Unbelievable talent, unbelievable return. If United could get anywhere near that for him, we would be absolutely laughing. That's match winner statistics. So you're getting that sort of level player, and he's only 20. That's why you have to pay that money for him, because he's a superstar in waiting. He's a superstar in waiting. He is that Kylian Mbappe. He is that sort of prodigal teenager that Mason Greenwood, of course, a couple of years ago. It's that kind of situation, lads and lasses. So yeah, you got to pay to get the money, and hopefully the board are prepared to do that. But we all know what our board are like. They're melters, guys. Chip Douglas says, isn't Romero going anywhere? Oh my God, we struggle to get players out and in. Chip Douglas, Romero was being linked with a move to Aston Villa, and I think maybe one or two other clubs as well. But the problem with Romero, like we talked about, is he has quite a big contract. I think it maybe is 80 grand or something like that, 80 grand a week. Correct me if I'm wrong, maybe Mr. Matthew Rush will be able to tell, but 80 grand a week for Romero is a lot of money for a backup keeper. So unless a football club can come in and pay the money for him to be their first choice keeper, then I don't see why not. I mean, there's talk of maybe like Leeds or somebody like that might be a good destination for him, because he could be a first choice keeper there, and he's playing in the Premier League still. It's good standard. I'm not saying we should send him to Leeds, but I'm just saying that sort of standard club might make a lot of sense. Nice one, guys. G-Wolf United, what's crack-a-lacking? Shashmeet Shrestha says Sancho is a statement signing and is worth all the money. He could be a flop, but United should take the risk. I agree 100%, Shashmeet Shrestha. You're absolutely right. It is a big statement and it is a lot of money, but we need to get our man now. We're running out of time. It's going to be a piss poor window soon if we're not careful. If we don't get Sancho, we might end up just bottling the whole window now and sticking with just only Van der Beek. Look, if we could get Thiago, if we could get Reguilon, if we could get Upamecano instead of Sancho, I'd actually be up for that, guys. I'm not going to lie. Like, Sancho, yeah, that would be great. But if you could give me those three players instead of Sancho for the same amount of money or less, I'd snap your hand off, to be honest, because I think United's overall team would be improved more than just getting Jadon Sancho in the side, even though he's an absolute elite player in his area and will be an elite player in the future, and that's amazing. At this moment in time, maybe we could do that centre-back, maybe we could do that central defensive midfielder and that wing-back. So I think if you could get those two, we're having a bit of a mare this window, we are. We're having a bit of a mare. Nice one, Matt Rush. He says 96 likes. Thank you, everyone who's tuning in right now. Shout out to you all. Smash that like button, lads and lasses. If you haven't done so already, please do leave a cheeky little thumbs up on the video. That would be awesome of you. Also, if you can give it a share on social media, that would be absolutely sick-ass as well. Thank you very much. First Class Game is in the house. What's going on, First Class Gamer? He says, Ellie, you okay, Schlag? How you doing there, First Class Gamer? Montclair says, Pogba is injured. What information is this you're reading there, Montclair? I understood that Pogba came back into training today. But if there is some information on that, then Mr. Matty Rush, maybe you can confirm that with me. But something I can confirm with you guys is that Scott McTominay is injured. Scott McTominay is injured, lads and lasses. Just to give you an update, Scott McTominay's injured. He has been unfortunately ruled out of the opening Premier League fixture after he ruptured his voice box by celebrating a goal he scored in training too intensely. What? Now I've heard it all. I mean, have you seen how much I shout and go on ball on here sometimes? I ain't rupturing my bloody voice box. What's the matter with this guy, man? It almost sounds like a bullshit article, doesn't it? But that's actually legitimate, right? I think it sounds like a joke. I know, look. Atrix is that a joke? It sounds like a joke, right? But he's actually legitimately been ruled out because he's ruptured his voice box for celebrating a goal he scored in training too intensely. What the actual fudge, lads and lasses? That is mad. So, yeah, that's weird. Yeah, Jonathan says, what the fook? D-Reg Armin says, yes. Cantonar 7 says, Scotty needs a Stephen Hawking-inspired voice box. Oh, no. Oh, no, I'm injured. I can't do that impression of that, to be fair. It's bad taste anyway. That was bad taste. Sorry, lads and lasses. Wackass Akram's in here. He says, who bid for Dalot? Just got on pick. Nice one, Wackass Akram. Smash a like on it, lads and lasses, if you're just getting in. To give you an update, it is Lille is the club that has put in a bid for Diogo Dalot, but it was rejected because it wasn't up to the standard that Manchester United were looking for. Manchester United would only sell for around about 22 million euros, and Lille were willing to buy him, but they wanted to pay a smaller amount and have a big percentage sell-on fee that Manchester United would receive in the contract. Manchester United did not want to do business this way and promptly rejected the offer, and there you go, Diogo Dalot. There's a few other clubs that are interested in signing Diogo Dalot, apparently. So it's all about whether or not they meet the valuation that Manchester United have set on him of 22 million euros by the sounds of it. So that's the report on Diogo Dalot for anybody who's just getting in here. Lille have had they've had a bid rejected. Man United wanted 22 million euros. Yeah, that's right. Ryan Burberspin9 says, play nice in the comments, lads and lasses. Absolutely, everybody will be timed out if there's any back and forth abuse going on. Gabriel Cujo says, good evening to you, Mr. Pig. Good evening, Gabriel Cujo. Thank you very much for getting in here. Carlos Nod says, do you need a voice to kick a ball? I don't think you do need a voice to kick a ball, do you really? Like, surely there's even been some players who were maybe mutes in the past. You know, like ex-mimes or whatever who happen to play the game. You know what I mean? Like, surely there's been people before who who don't use their vocal cords whilst playing football. I find that very strange. If you've got a really sore throat, then what happens when you rupture? It doesn't sound nice. What happens when you rupture your vocal cords? I mean, that sounds gashtastic. 2 seconds, I'm just going to grab this drink here. Oh. Let that drink over there. Yeah, so I mean that doesn't sound good, does it? But what a twat, by the way. Do you reckon he was doing the Cristiano Ronaldo celebration? He's just scored a goal and gone. Do you reckon he's done that? I don't know, guys. I mean, he's had a mare there, McTominay, man. Rupturing his vocal cords. Absolutely redonkulous, that. Andy Mittens come out and said Rashford and Martial are looking forward to welcoming Jadon Sancho into the team and have already made plans of a welcoming party, including a huge cake and a gift of free subscription to MUTV. That sounds absolutely gash. News just in. Jadon Sancho changes his mind. No, fair play. A huge cake and a free subscription to MUTV. Respect. So yeah, guys, there you go. A bit of information there. McTominay injured. Rashford and Martial looking forward to welcome. This is from Andy Mitten. I mean, how does he know this? He's just actually asked him the question, has he? What's going on, Danny? How you doing? Mark Food says, LOL, Piggy. Shashmeet Shreshra says, it sounds like the article which claimed Pogba and Bruno tackled each other and both got injured. I know, it sounds like a proper fake story, doesn't it? Jimjo Jobley says, probably had to scream for Pereira to pass. Palmeiras, only a United player could get injured in that way. Absolutely, what is that all about? Seriously, I mean, next we're going to hear that Aaron Wan-Bissaka's taken a tumble, like, whilst trying to spread butter on some toast in the morning or something like that. He's impaled himself on a butter knife. You know what I mean? Like, what's going to happen next, guys? We've had Slabby Maguire getting done up in Greece and getting sent to prison. We've had coronavirus. We've had Mason. We've had Corona Mason doing what he's been doing over in Iceland. Bloody hell. And now we've got this injury, which is McTominay's done his vocal cords in. I mean, is that just do you think that's just an excuse? Do you think there's been some other stuff going on? I don't know, maybe he's just been bang on it, you know, maybe he's just been taking a leaf out of Slabby Maguire's book. He's just been bang on it all summer. He's come back to training, he's like, oh, boss, no, I didn't have an heavy night, no, I scored and I screamed and now my vocal cords are gone. Do you reckon? Because that sounds weird to me. First Class Gamer with a super chat. Thank you very much, First Class Gamer lad. He says, Pig, can you tell Mason Greenwood it's buy one, get one free at Iceland? I think he already knows that, actually, First Class Gamer. I think there was two of them. But I know, okay, what's his face was in on the act as well, so it wasn't 2-on-1. But either way, Mason, fair play to him. Look, oh my God, he's had a nightmare there. He's had a nightmare, but it's not as bad as people make out. Like, he is a young, irresponsible man, and he should know better, especially when he's got this opportunity of being with the England squad and stuff, and it's his first time there. I think that is a pretty silly thing to do. I mean, it doesn't really look good with Southgate and the manager and the coaches and all the rest of the team, does it? If you're Greenwood and you're getting sent home for getting some bird into the hotel when there's a pandemic on. Like, that's the stupid thing here. Initially, it wouldn't be all that much of a big deal. But, I mean, there's professionalism, but then, you know, there's being a young lad at the same time. But because of what's going on, that's what makes it really irresponsible to me. Stuart Kehoe comments, clearly doesn't score so many, could be true. Who's that you're talking about, mate? Thank you, G Wolf United. He says, smash a like for the Pig Legends. Appreciate it, mate. Yeah, please do hit that thumbs up button if you haven't done so already. Victor Davies says, come on, he's only 18. Exactly. You know, I understand that. He's not exactly done all that much. He's just basically tried to get on a bird. He's tried to get on a bird. That's basically what's happened there. And who knows if they weren't just playing a nice little game of Scrabble. And who knows, they could have been on the phones playing Scrabble across Wi-Fi, not even anywhere near each other, socially distancing whilst wearing masks and being properly responsible for all we know. So we're just writing him off like he's some sort of sex maniac and a sex deviant here, but the truth is he's not. He's just a young 18-year-old guy who probably just, you know, was a bit bored. And to be fair, like, if I was sharing a room with Phil Foden, I'd want to get some birds round too. Because I can't imagine it'd be too fun sharing a room with Phil Foden. That's all I'm saying. Like, not the best. I mean, have you got James? What about James Milner? Who's sharing the room with James Milner back in the day when he was playing for England? Who's sharing the room with James Milner? Who's got to draw the short straws? You know what I mean? Bloody hell, snooze fest. Hey, what's going on, First Class Gamer? Timing myself out for feigning so much today. What do you mean you're feigning so much today, First Class Gamer? Everything okay with you, buddy? Don't time yourself out. Sudeepta Chatterjee, how you doing, Sudeepta? Thanks for getting in here. Jim Joe says he's supposed to be a professional athlete. I've zero sympathy for him. Yeah, I understand, actually. You know, I do get it. I don't have much sympathy for him for doing it. But I do think it's not that bad. He's not, you know, done the dirty with one of his players' wives. He's not, you know, done something really heinous or, you know, it's nothing like that. It's just young lads being lads, and it is unprofessional, and he's a professional athlete, like you say. The key word there is professional, and he's got to hold himself in the right professionalism, the right manner, and he's not done that, and he has made United look like a bit shite, to be honest, especially at this time when everything else bad is happening, like Pogba getting corona, and Harry Maguire, and just all this recent stuff that's been happening. Like, it's just not been a very good time for the football club. Gabriel Couget says Defoe did share a room with Milner. Oh, that doesn't sound good. Yeah, that sounds boring, my friends. First Class Gamer says, drop my phone in my dinner. Oh, First Class Gamer, mate. Well, you might as well just use it as a spoon now and wash it later. Atrex, he says, right, guys, I'm off to bed. Have a long day at the pub tomorrow. Bless. Hey, have a great Saturday, mate. Have a great weekend, Atrex. Thank you for getting in here. You're a top lad. And then you've killed your car, First Class Gamer. Dude, that does not sound good. Scott Kent says, evening, mate. How's Incy Spider tonight? No spider attacks just yet, I don't think, lads and lasses. But if there is one, I'll tell Aaron to say hello. Hey, what's going on, Paul van der Beek? Great to have you in here, mate. Are you looking forward to seeing Donny play tomorrow? Of course, we've got Aston Villa tomorrow in a pre-season friendly. We'll be doing a watch-along on the channel for that, everyone, so get involved. I think it's on at 10 p.m, is it? I think the game's on at 2, but the match is being shown at 10. I think that's right. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's the situation as we understand it. Right, also, Manchester United are looking at other options, other alternatives to Jadon Sancho. We talked about it anyway, but just to give everyone a bit more information about it, we're actively exploring alternatives to Jadon Sancho in case a deal cannot be done with Borussia Dortmund, which is just truth anyway. You'd expect Manchester United to be doing that. Probably Josh Bloody King or somebody like that as maybe a last-ditch backup, but hopefully somebody a bit better than that, like we were talking about, the likes of Kingsley Coman or Dembele or David Neres or somebody like this. Somebody of a bit better ilk who's a bit quality that could come in and replace Jadon if we can't get him in the window. Because 120 million is a shit ton of money, and United could pretty much go and spend a lot of money elsewhere and get really good deals in. If you think you could get David Neres in from Ajax, they don't ever really garner that much money because it's difficult to keep players there because there's just not as much money in the Eredivisie. So if you were to put a decent offer in, you could probably get in Van der Beek. i.e. Van der Beek, which is what we did. We got that great relationship with them. There's also other players that we're talking about. Reguilon, 20 million, 25 million, 30 million, somewhere around there. Alex Telles, similar amount of money. There's Upamecano, 50 million. So you could get all of those players for what it would cost to get just Jadon Sancho, which is pretty mad actually. So what would you guys do? Would you get Jadon Sancho now, or would you get a few other players? Based on the fact that it looks like Borussia Dortmund are going to be pretty stringent and strict with their amount that they want to receive, 120 million. What would you do? Would you get Jadon Sancho in this window now if he's to be your only signing? Which is potentially the case because it's a huge amount of money, and we've already spent 39 mil on Donny van der Beek. So if you add 120 million euros and 39 million euros together, that is 159 million euros that United would have spent in this window to get him in there, to get these players in, and that's not strengthening the whole team in every area either. Shout out to Yag Sandu for subscribing. By the way, if you're new to the channel, lads and lasses, smash that subscribe button, get involved. What's going on with my hair there? Why does it always do that? It's sticking out on the side there, does my head in. Smash that subscribe button, click the bell icon to be notified when we go live as well. We do regular daily Manchester United transfer updates covering all the latest news. Biggest headlines today: bid rejected from Lille for Diogo Dalot, and also Rojo understood to be an offer from Estudiantes to take him back on loan. United expecting and wanting around about 8 million euros for a permanent move as well for Marcus Rojo. So that is the sort of headlines of today about players going out, players going in. It's just really the Jadon Sancho stuff that we talked about, and Sergio Reguilon, to get onto him. We'll get onto him in a minute, actually. We'll just go through your comments here. So get your thoughts and opinions in quick about Sancho. Sashmeet Shrestha says, we can get other players in January or next year, but Sancho is this year or never. All or nothing. It is true, it is an all or nothing signing, because if you do get Sancho in, it doesn't leave very much in the transfer kitty to bring in other great players, does it? You're going to be scratching around in the bargain bin for a couple of transfer windows, I think, if you spend 120 million on Sancho, especially with all this uncertainty that's going on. We read that Premier League statement earlier, and I know this is obviously a combined total of all the clubs, but the Premier League football clubs, they're losing 100 million, I think they said, every single month or week or something ridiculous. I think it must be a month. I don't know. There's a lot of match day revenue that is being lost right now. So these football clubs are reluctant to spend money. And if you're spending 120 million right now and something doesn't work out with Sancho, that's a big gamble, putting all your eggs in one basket. So, sorry, that Coca-Cola is fizzy. So I'm thinking, it's a very good chance now that if it doesn't materialise, we will go out there and just spend that 120 million on 3 or 4 different players. And in a way, we might actually be better next season for doing that. But you don't want to get too many players in at once. You don't have an influx, but certainly a centre-back, certainly a left-back, certainly a CDM. If it turned out that Thiago signed and Upamecano and all these guys signed and Sancho didn't, I wouldn't be that bothered as long as we've got 3 or 4 other great players. But Sancho is a great young player. Like you say, he's going to be one of the best in the world. So to get a player like that, to get a player of that standard who is showing those signs, those early signs at 20 years of age that he's going to be a world beater, it's a special talent, so you've got to pay the money, don't you? You've got to pay the money if you want a special talent like Jadon Sancho in there. Whether or not Man United are going to do it, and if they have the bottle, is another question. Scott Kent comments, question for all the United fans. Okay, can someone please tell me what team wore Manchester United away socks 1987-88 at Old Trafford? Great question. Please say your answers and you pick, please. Scott Kent. That was the year I was born, mate. I have no freaking clue, my friend. I'm going to say Wimbledon. That is a random question, Scott Kent, that you've just put in the live chat there, mate. Somebody might know. Sashmeet Shrestha, you have a great evening, mate. Appreciate you getting in here. Try more. Matt's there says, hey, bro, what do you think about Matthias Pereira from West Brom? Look, there's some good players, I think, in the Premier League and some of the lesser teams that we could be going to get. If the Sancho deal was on, I would hope to think that there's links to players like Grealish or Neves or these guys as well. But certainly, look, there's, Connor Cody's not a terrible player as an option. Look, I don't think any of these players are really that great. Like, I do think Neves is great, and I do think Ndidi and these guys are great. But really, we need to sign like a... somebody a bit special, somebody who's got the potential. Even if they're young, even if they're like 19, 20, but they're showing bags of potential, I'd rather we sign that sort of player right now. Somebody like a Badashir or an Upamecano at centre-back would be brilliant. Yeah, so we're actively seeking different alternatives for Juventus. Nice. Simon Bennett says Fulham. So what was the answer then? What was the answer to that question? Obviously, Scott Kent, you're going to have to give us the answer now, mate. That's a tough one, though. Matt Rush says 128 likes. Nice one, guys. Please do smash that thumbs up button if you haven't done so already, and get your thoughts and opinions in about anything we're discussing. So who would you sign as a Sancho alternative then, lads and lasses? Write your name in the comment section. If you could sign one right winger instead of Jadon Sancho, let's say the Jadon Sancho deal just completely crumbles and melts like David Moyes of a morning. Let's just imagine that happens. Then what do you think happens? Who do you think we get in the right wing position in this window? Have your say. Tell us who you think we should get as a right winger instead of Jadon Sancho. Ronesh Maharaj says Bale. Oh, a shit ton of money to get Gareth Bale in, but he is a heck of a player on his day. Mark Voots, hey Pig, just tuned in. Gaz G, what's the crack, man? I'll go and I'll have a little rundown in a minute, actually, Gaz. Palmeiras says Neres. Neres is a good shout, you know. I like the realism of the signing of Neres because it's realistic. He's from Ajax. We just sent them that money. Plus, Ajax, you know, like they could do a lot worse than a player like Phil Jones. I think we should just try and like shop Phil Jones out to Ajax right now. They could do a lot worse with some of these other players like a Dalot or, you know, or a Pereira. Like even Andreas Pereira would be pretty decent at Ajax, I think. So, you know, there's always something you can do in terms of sweetening the deal for them. Maybe they don't want to lose a player like Neres so close to the start of the Eredivisie starting. But if you sweeten the deal, give him a cheeky little Jesse in return or something like that. That never happened, of course, but because of the wages, like I said. But still, we can live and we can dream. But yeah, I think, you know, Neres is a decent shout. I like that. Wakas Akram also says Neres. Jonathan Gallagher thinks Adama Traore would be a beast on it. Adama would be a sick-ass side of my friend. Have you seen the size of that guy? He's a freaking unit. He's built like an absolute brick shithouse. You know, when you hear that expression, brick shithouse, and you look it up in the dictionary, there's a picture of Adama Traore sitting on an actual brick shithouse. You know, so it's not actually referring to Adama, it's just he's on a brick shit. But either way, he's in the freaking dictionary, that's what I'm saying. Sandeep Barrage, what's going on, dude? He says, thank you for the super chat there, Sandeep. He says, we seem to monitor every deal. We should be renamed as Monitoring FC. Laugh my ass off. Monitor Chester United. There you go. Monitoring every player in the world. Monitor Chester United. I see what you did there. Nice one, Sandeep Barrage. Thank you so much for the super chat, mate. Yeah, dude, it's a joke, isn't it? It's a joke, man. We're monitoring everyone. We're keeping tabs on everyone. We've probably got everyone's phones tapped, you know what I mean? We've got tabs on bloody Edward Snowden at the moment. You know what I mean? We've got, like, tabs on whistleblowers up and down the country. It's mental. United are doing some proper monitoring at the moment. It makes sense as well because we've got that lizard, Edward Woodward, in charge of the proceedings as well, and he's an absolute monitor lizard, isn't he? Anyway... so yeah, we're actively seeking alternatives for Jadon Sancho anyway, in case the deal is a mare. Kevin Prendergast, hello Kevin, he says Greenwood is already better than any of them. That's also a very good shout, man. Mason Greenwood is the tits. Mason has been incredible this last season, 18 years of age. And in terms of being that right winger, like think about how decent Dan James was at the start of the year, and he was. But he really did peter off. He petered off pretty badly. Peter Reeded off. And it was not good. What he needed to do was consistently perform. And what happened? Greenwood got his opportunity because of Dan James' inadequacy. And then Greenwood did consistently perform. Greenwood did consistently put those great performances in and really impressed us at right wing. And he's not even really a right winger. I think his best position is probably striker. I think he's just so natural at finishing. And he's so direct with his running and stuff like that. And he gets that half a yard of the defender and he gets that shot off more often than not, and his finishing's really fantastic at that age for anybody really of any age. So both footed, he's tailor-made to be that number 9 striker for us in the long term. Of course we've got Martial right now, but he's 6 or 7 years older, so it's not like Mason's going to have to worry about really being that number 1 spot for the next couple of seasons. He can just deputise, he can play for Martial, he can play instead of Rashi and instead of anybody up there. So yeah, Greenwood's a talent, Greenwood's an amazing player. If we don't get Sancho, I would be happy with Greenwood there, to be perfectly honest with you. I really would. I think that would make a lot of sense. He's just been given the number 11 anyway, so he's clearly in the first team plans properly. Makes sense because he's the best teenager in the world in my opinion. So yeah, you get him in there, you strengthen the team elsewhere. If Sancho isn't available for 120 million, you go and maybe you get Thiago. We've talked about this, but Thiago, man, that amount of money that you could get him for, 30 million euros is what's been reported because of his contract length, not having that much remaining on it at Bayern. You can get yourself a proper experienced 29-year-old ready-made midfielder there, defensive midfielder. You can play that defensive midfield role like Gary Neville was saying, like I've been saying. You don't necessarily have to be that absolute destroyer. He's such an intelligent pass master of the game. He can be that deep line playmaker, that quarterback. That they use that expression, like the Tom Brady, where they're just spraying it out from deep at the back. They use that expression in American football, but they also use it in English football for some reason to mean like that deep line playmaker who's just making shit happen and spraying everything all over the place. Sound messed up, didn't it? But you know what I mean. So Thiago would be great because he's so experienced and so good and so ready-made, and you get him for a reasonable amount of money. Yeah, the wages are going to be big, but the main thing about it, it kicks Kloppy in the balls. I would love to kick Kloppy in the balls in this window. I just generally love to kick Kloppy in the balls, but certainly in this window, if Thiago, who's supposed to be heavily linked to Liverpool, doesn't end up there because United come in and swoop in and steal him from them, well, that would just leave the Scousers absolutely sour. And I would love that. I would absolutely love that because they've stagnated so much in this window without spending any money because maybe they don't need to. They are the Premier League champions. They don't have an incredible season. But to keep the momentum going, to keep that competition in the team and to keep the team honest, you do have to add a little bit of quality every single window. You have to do that. So I think Klopp will be a little bit disappointed with their window so far. They're not spending the money. They're only going to spend the money on the right sort of player. Thiago would be the right sort of player because you can get him for a little amount of money up front. And then the wages are significant. But the good thing about Liverpool is they don't spend big wages, and Thiago would want 300 grand a week. United could offer him that. We've got players like Pogba on 300 grand a week. We've got players like De Gea on 350 grand a week. So we can justify that sort of a payment, especially when somebody like Alexis Sanchez has just gone out the football club who was on £500,000 a week. So if we don't get Sancho, the Thiago deal becomes a lot more realistic, everyone. Gaz G says, wow, Sancho's on the chat. Hello. Hello to Sancho. Jadon Sancho's in here, is he? Yes, nice one. He says, yeah, I will definitely be unveiled on the 14th. There you go then, lads and lasses. Breaking news. Jadon Sancho has just popped in my live chat to say he will be unveiled on the 14th. No, to be fair though, look, I hope that's true. I mean, look, it's only 3 days away, the 14th. You would think if United are going to sign Jadon, it will be before the next game against Crystal Palace. Right, good news then, lads and lasses. I just wanted to tell you about our new signing, of course, that's coming. McNeil from Manchester City, of course, he turned down signing a new contract at Manchester City in order to come to Manchester United. And this kid is supposed to be pretty special, 17 years of age. He scored over 600 goals in academy football for Manchester City. You what? He scored over 600 goals in academy football for Manchester City. You what? You must have to double take that, don't you? But he must have been there since he was probably 3 years old or something. But actually, he was a boyhood MUFC fan and was determined to return to Old Trafford, having left for City in 2013. So he obviously played at Manchester United for the kids' teams before then anyway. But since 2013, he's been at Manchester City as a young lad. So that's 7 years. So he joined them when he was 10. And he scored 600 goals in academy football since joining. And we're going to get him. And it looks like a very good signing for Manchester United. And do you know what? All other clubs, this is reported from what's his face, Ducker from the Telegraph here, who says that basically what it is there was all these other football clubs that were interested in getting McNeil based on how good he's been as a youngster. All those goals that he scored, 600 goals in academy football, 17 years of age. Juventus were interested in him. RB Leipzig interested in him, Wolverhampton Wanderers interested in him, Celtic and Rangers all interested in McNeil. And of course Manchester City tried to sign him back up, but no, a boyhood MUFC fan, he is determined to come back to Manchester United and he signed a contract with Manchester United. So get in there, my son. Or, it's not quite done yet actually, but I think it's about to be announced. So yeah, I'm loving that one. So in terms of actually signing it, it's not quite done, but it's about to be announced anyway. So that's brilliant. We're getting McNeil in, really good young signing. One for the future again. We've made a few good young signings this window, so there's a bit of positive stuff for you anyway. We're also getting another report here that Zinedine Zidane has given Sergio Reguilon his blessing to join Manchester United this summer without any clause included in the potential deal. This is what we're understanding here. But is it really 100% that? I mean, look, we have to wait and see what happens with Sergio Reguilon. We were leveraging Alex Tellers, I think, in order to get the deal done. And that was, of course, going to be the big stumbling block, whether or not they would accept an offer from Manchester United without a release clause on it, without a future buyback clause. Real wanted to progress him and keep him and have him around in a few years' time. But they do have a lot of good players there. And for Manchester United, it makes a lot of sense to try and offer a little bit more and get the deal done. So hopefully we can get a deal done. Hopefully Zidane's not too bothered about keeping Sergio Reguilon at the football club this season or in the future. And hopefully he can come to this club. Because I think that would be a brilliant signing for us right now. I really do, actually. Like, we're desperate for signings. Like, for a 25, 30 million pound player who's 23 and has just done all the stuff that he's done and had a great season, won the Europa, all that business looks the absolute tits, would be absolutely freaking awesome for Manchester United in this window. So, because we've got nothing in. We've only got Donny van der Beek, my friends. You know what I mean? We've got the Great Dutch Bake Off, but we need to get a few, we need to, find it, fix it, flog it. That's what we need to do more of. We need to get more players in and sell the gash. And we haven't done enough of it in this transfer window, so I'm pretty damn pissed off about it, to be fair. The situation is being reported here, again, like I said yesterday, that Sergio Reguilon has agreed terms with Manchester United. So we reached an agreement with Sergio Reguilon, but have not yet agreed with Real Madrid. So it's the same story on Reguilon, really, in terms of we've offered the money. So, they probably haven't reached an agreement in terms of the fee involved and the buyback situation and all that, but we've agreed personal terms with Reguilon. So he would be interested in coming to United. There's all those other things we talked about which point to that, but we don't want to have him if we want a buyback clause in there. That's the situation, which is gash, to be honest, because we need him, but we're expecting news about him this weekend, lads and lasses. So I just wanted to give you an update on Sergio Reguilon. We are expecting news. I don't want to say anything too soon about Sergio Reguilon, but we are expecting news about Sergio Reguilon this weekend. That's all that I'm going to say. Nice one, guys. Great stuff. Right. So yeah, and the last bit of news. Oh, actually, we've already talked about that, but Scott McTominay's got an injury. Sorry, I just have to say this one again for anybody who's just getting in here, because this sounds preposterous. This sounds like I'm joking. But Scott McTominay's got an injury. He's unfortunately been ruled out of the opening Premier League fixture after he ruptured his voice box by celebrating a goal he scored in training too intensely. That's got to be a joke. I just read it again and I'm just struggling to believe that that's true. Like, I'm seeing that. I can see the report. I can see Andy Mitten. I can see everything here. I can see David Ornstein. But what the fudge is that all about? Is that true? Can somebody just confirm whether that's true? Because it just sounds fake, doesn't it? It just sounds fake. Matt Rush says 141 likes. Nice one, lads and lasses. Let's smash 150. Smash that like button, everyone, if you haven't done so already, and get involved in the live chat. Smash a 1 in it if you think that story's fake. Victor Davies says it's a joke. It's got to be. I know I'm seeing it on some sort of official outlets here that's being reported. So it's kind of interesting that Scott McTominay may have injured his voice box. Even if he has, I don't see how that would rule him out already for the game tomorrow. Or no, it says the Premier League fixture. How would that already rule him out for the Premier League fixture? So yeah, I'm a little bit confused about that one. I mean, I'm just going to hold my horses on that one. It does seem like that's the reports, but it sounds fake. It just sounds fake. Ellie says, since when do you play with your voice box? Exactly, and why would that rule you out 8 or 9 days before the Premier League starts? Surely you want to give him a little bit of time for his voice box to heal? How long does it take? Why does he even need his voice box? Okay, I understand if he's like the captain and he has to be really vocal, but not especially. I mean, Scott McTominay, look, come on, that's bullshit. This has got to be bullshit, right? Matty the Rushmeister, can you do some research for me, my friend? Can you find out if this is 100% true? Because I find this mental. Anyway. Oh, nice one, Scott. So the answer was Newcastle. And the other question for United fans, what goalkeeper went on loan to Arsenal in the 90s? Bloody hell, that's a good question. Raymond van der Gaal. I'm going to go with Raymond van der Gaal, my friend. I can't think of which goalkeeper went on loan to Arsenal, mate. That is an interesting one. Mark Bosnich. Anyway, Nice one, guys. Yeah, thank you for getting in here. I'm going to stick around for a little while longer now. So just to give you an update, actually, I'll just give everyone an update who's getting in here now. Diogo Dalot had an offer in from Lille. They were interested in signing Diogo Dalot. They put in a bid, and Manchester United rejected it. It wasn't up to the standard that they wanted and the valuation that they wanted. We want 22 million euros, supposedly, from a club for Diogo Dalot. There's other clubs that are interested in him, so you might see a little bit of movement for Dalot. But also, it was Lille that wanted to buy him, and we've rejected it, and they wanted to pay different fees in the future, and that kind of thing. So maybe we'll be keeping him. But it is understood that Brandon Williams could be swapped over to right back if we do indeed get a Reguilon type or a Alex Tellez character in this window. That Brandon Williams could be swapped over to right back to deputise for Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Nice one, lads and lasses. Nelly Sean says Roy Carroll, Les Seeley. Yeah, I don't know. Scott Kent says Jim Layton. Oh, G-Wolf got it. Well done, G-Wolf. Well done, G-Wolf. Got a good question there, mate. Those are some toughies. Anyway, so yes, so to do with an update, we've got Diogo Dalot bid from Lille. Also, Estudiantes are understood to have made contact with United about taking the player on loan again in Marcos Rojo. Obviously, he was there last season. They want to take him on loan again. In terms of his wages and in terms of the deal, it's unlikely that anybody would come in for a permanent transfer for Marcos Rojo because he is on quite a bit of money, and, you know, it's just going to cost a little bit to get him in at this moment in time. There's not a lot of money floating around for players like Rojo, and he's on significant money. So it depends on if we are going to keep him, if we're going to get anybody else in this window, if we do end up getting Reguilon, if we do somehow magically poop out a centre-back this transfer window, then of course Rojo will probably be going, and he is being separated from the squad in terms of training right now, along with Chris Smalling, who's also expected to leave to Roma in the next couple of days and has agreed terms. So there's a couple of players that could be going out. Marcos Rojo, Estudiantes interested in bringing Marcos Rojo back on loan, and also Diogo Dalot, a bid come in from Lille, which was rejected. So there's a little bit of information from players out potentially, but really it's only Chris Smalling at this moment in time which has got the wheels in motion, and that's nearly done. Actually, it's just really pending a medical and paperwork being completed. So just to give everyone an update on players going out there. Right then, let's get into the comments section, lads and lasses. Shout out to you all for stopping by tonight. Come on, my son, get in there, the Bacon Brigade. We smashed 27,500 subscribers. Have some of that. Oh yeah. Ooh, mangasm. Oh, no, I'm very happy about that, lads and lasses. 27,500 subscribers. Booyah! Legends, guys. So yeah, thank you to everybody that subscribed to this channel recently, and thank you to all the old legendary subscribers as well, the legacy subscribers. Shout out. Do us a favour, if you're watching this stream and you're not subscribed, you know what to do. Smash that subscribe button. That'd be awesome. We'll keep you up to date daily with all Manchester United news. Make sure you come back for that watch along tomorrow as well, because we're doing the game, the Aston Villa game, tomorrow night. It'll be on telly, on MUTV, so we're going to be watching it. It's replayed at 10 p.m. I think that's the situation. It's actually on at 2, but it's being played at 10. There's no way for us to watch it televised live, I think, which is absolutely gash-tastic. Victor Davies says, fantastic, thank you. Seema, hey, shout out, Bong. Shout out to Bong. How you doing there, Bong? Thank you for getting in here. Ellie says, 27.5, amazing. Absolutely awesome. Gaz G says, booyaka. Sean Joseph says, I'm all the way from Granada. Great. I want to take you to Bermuda, Bahama. Come on, pretty mama, to Grenada. Actually, I don't even know if that's in that song. But anyway, hey, shout out to you watching in Grenada or Granada. I don't know how I think we say Grenada. I think Americans say Grenada. No, I think we say Granada and Americans say Grenada. I don't really understand. You can tell us which one it is. Thank you, Aaron Homeyard. Thank you, Ryan Berberspin 9. But nice one watching in from Granada there, mate. Bruno Kovacevic says, you're welcome. It's a good channel. Keep up the great work. Thank you so much for that, Bruno. Appreciate that, Bruno. And what a great name you've got. By the way, if there was ever a good time to be called Bruno, it's right now. I mean, Bruno's kind of a cool name, but think about it. If you're called Bruno now, you're like a sick-ass mofo. Bruno Fernandes is an absolute don. If you're called Bruno 10 years ago, who's the main Bruno? It's that Sacha Baron Cohen's Bruno, isn't it? You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, it's a cool time to be called Bruno. Yeah, Stevie says Granada. Yeah, that's what I thought it was as well. Bruno Kovacevic, no worries. Chico Hempo, what's going down? He says, Man United, what is happening in the transfer market this season? Shocking transfer market, mate. We're having an absolute double day, man. When you get some players in immediately, the board, Woodward, they're basically just a putrid, steaming pile of mess, unfortunately. They're not cut up to the job. They didn't even give a shit in improving this side like they should, like to challenge for the title. They just do it to try and challenge for the Champions League spaces so they can keep the money flowing in, so they can keep the commercial deals flowing in, so they can keep the stock price high. This is all the sort of things that the Glazers are looking for. But like we said, hopefully they will spend a bit of money. It is trending that way. Like we said, the stock market had a little bit of a rise and stuff like that. And we understand that happens when you can sign a big asset like it happened with the Paul Pogba deal. So hopefully there is a little bit of movement behind the scenes. Sean Joseph says, hey everyone. Simon Ashraf says, your thoughts on Martial's FIFA rating? Is this for FIFA 21? I haven't seen his rating actually. Scott Kent says, who scored the first goal under Sir Alex Ferguson at Old Trafford? Bloody hell. Brian Robson. Brian Robson. Captain Marvel, eh? Brian Robson. I don't know. That's a good question. We've got a new quiz master in here tonight, have we? Fair play to you, lad. He's getting in here. He's keeping me challenged. I don't know, but that's quite a good one, actually. The Trooper says, pig, oink, oink. How you doing there, the Trooper? Coppisland123 says 83 rated, really. So Martial's an 83 rated player again, because he was 83 rated on FIFA 20. So if that's the case, if he's not gone up at all, I do think that's pretty gash. That's pretty gash-tastic. Right then, you legends, I'm going to I'm not going to have a dump live on here. No, I'm going to jump into the live comments for the last few minutes, and then we're going to wrap this puppy up. But again, shout out to all you legends for stopping by. Please do subscribe to the channel if you're new to the channel. Smash that like button as well, lads and lasses. If you're lurking there, if you're laid in bed, and you're watching on your Xbox, and all you've got to do is go onto my channel on your phone and press like, or go on the Xbox and press like, just give it a little like, lads and lasses. Stop being so lazy. No, please do hit a like on it. It would definitely help this stream out and help us compete with some of the bigger conglomerate corporation channels, if you know what I'm saying. So give us a like and also give it a share on social media if you can. If you're new to this, we cover all Manchester United news, all transfer news, and of course every single aspect of the goings on at the football club. We have guests on, we have ex-footballers on, we have all sorts of stuff going on this channel. So check it out. Also, there's an associated website, flyingpigunited.com. Check that one out as well. Link in the description. Follow us on all the social medias as well. Links are in the description for that also, lads and lasses. If you're not following me on Instagram and Twitter and that stuff, are you even really part of the Bacon Brigade, really? Do you know what I mean? But anyway, thank you to everybody that does do that, and thanks to everybody that gets in here. Shout out to the moderators. Everyone stick a love heart in the live chat for the moderators, who are absolutely sick and keeping this nice and friendly as well. There's been a couple of motors in here tonight, but you wouldn't know it, I think, because Ellie has been on the case here, and a bunch of peeps has been on the case. So shout out to all you guys for stopping by and getting rid of the twats. Jaden Sancho says, good night, guys. Don't worry, I will sign next week on the 14th. Take it easy. Go on, Jaden Sancho. See you soon, son. You've got a big cake waiting for you from Marcus Rashford and Martial, and also a free subscription to MUTV. And here they are, all the love hearts coming in for the mod. Shout out Marion Donovan popping one down there. Legends. Matty Rush says subscribe to the channel. Sean Joseph says, who is the one to watch for the new season? The one player to watch? One to watch? I think United's player to watch this season probably, it depends how you define it, really. I think Mason's obviously one to watch this season. Who knows what he could do? If we get Sancho, he'll definitely be one to watch. I think Martial's one to watch. See if he can get those 25 league goals for United. Bruno's, of course, one to watch. So there's a lot of ones to watch for Manchester United so far this season. Yeah, nice one. And that's another one, actually. Bruno Kovacevic says, I think it's Donny. Yeah, that's a very good point. I mean, he's definitely the one I'm looking to watch tomorrow when we play Villa, if he's going to be playing. He's definitely the sort of player that I'm going to be keeping a big eye on because he's just signed. So he's got a lot of interest in him right now, Donny van de Beek, to see how he will do. Papa Stores, thank you very much. He says, I love your energy, pig. Boom! Thank you, Papa Stores. Appreciate that, mate. Right back at you. Thank you for watching, everybody. And Marion Donovan says, hi, I'm new. If you're new to this channel, lads and lasses, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a thing and click the bell. Joseph Misko says, well done to our fine moderators. Absolutely, the moderators are absolutely awesome. Shout out to all the mods. Eamon Barrett showing his love and respect to the mods. The Trooper says Lee Sharp and Ryan Giggs got blocked from going out. Yeah, there's that old famous story of Alex Ferguson turning up at Sharpies. Giggsy and Lee Sharp have been on it. And there's a party going on and Alex Ferguson turns up in the middle of the night when they're having a party, man. I mean, how freaking scary would that have been? You know, get over here, you idiot. Why, you Ryan, you're fine to its wages. Get over here, you idiot. You know, Lee Sharp here, you think you're too good for United. You get bad influence on Ryan, he's a wee lad. Don't you fucking know this, son? You're going to Bradford? You're going to Bradford City now, you wee tube. Can you just imagine the hairdryer treatment? There was probably like really loud. This is what I picture in my head. There's a couple of dancing girls around. You know, they're dancing around. They're doing some crazy stuff. There's like house music playing. Boom, 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 boom. There's house music playing in the background. Boom, 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 boom. And then Fergie comes in, and then it's just like. That's what I imagine with boom, boom, boom. There's an image for you lads and lasses. Fergie going in and busting up Lee Sharp and Ryan Giggs. Party. Nice one, guys. But yeah, I think that's pretty funny anyway. Anyway, lads and lasses, I'll stick around for 2 more minutes then if you guys just want to ask me a couple more things. Victor Davies says, that's way we win so much. He never put up with that shit. So true. He was such a stern manager. I don't know if you could really be that way in this day and age. He just commanded so much respect, didn't he? It's like when we spoke to Chadders the other day, Luke Chadwick, we had him on the show, and he said that it wasn't really so much of being scared of Fergie. It was just like you had such massive respect for him, and you just tried so hard for him because you just wanted to impress him. You just wanted to do absolutely everything you could for him. Like, he was just a great leader of men, and they all wanted to aspire to be as best as they could be for Fergie. And if you let him down, you just felt more disappointed than anything. So I think there's that factor to it as well. Like, he's just such a great man manager, just such a great leader of men. Lynette Giggs says, will Smalling get a testimonial? Don't know about that much. It's a good question. Marion Donovan, don't spam there. Do I know Mac Goldbridge? I don't know Mac Goldbridge, no. Chica Hampo says, Sancho is not the only player in the market, please. It's true, Chica Hampo. Look, we could easily go and get somebody else, a few other players for the amount of money it would take to spend on Sancho. He's 120 million euro valuation at the end of the day. You could get Thiago, you could get Neres, you could get Upamecano, you could get Reguilon, all for that amount of money. So there's not very good value in this deal, other than the fact that you're getting your man, you're making that intent, and he's going to be one of the best players in the world. So in that position, you should be set for the next decade. So in that terms of an investment, if you're slowly adding the correct puzzle pieces, he's a correct puzzle piece for sure, because he's going to get so much better. QT007, what's going on, QT? Thanks for getting in here and stopping by. Bruno Kovacevic says, I want Dybala. Yeah, I thought about Dybala, but look, you know, he's too much of a prima donna. But what's that shit all about? Anyway, Gaz Elliott says, what's the crack, man? Hey, how you doing there, Gaz Elliott? Not too much, mate. Just you probably have to watch the video back, but Dalot, there was a bid for. Estudiantes interested in Marcus Rojo. Chris Smalling on his way to Roma. Sancho not getting out of bed in the morning, late for training. You know, little things like that happening. Reguilon update. Personal terms agreed. Still nothing to do in terms of doing with the football club. They still haven't reached an agreement officially. That's how it's going. Big Max comments, will Man United get Reguilon? So I personally think that we will get Sergio Reguilon. I think it's a very, very good chance that Manchester United will get him because it's not a lot of money, and Real Madrid, realistically, they've got a couple of really good left-backs there. He's not exactly going to be like the main contender at Real Madrid for any number of years. Like, they would have to keep loaning him out. They would have to keep selling him or not keep selling him, but they'd have to sell him to another lower football club than Manchester United, which probably wouldn't develop him as well anyway, and they'd get him back in a few years. I think they should just sell him to us on a permanent deal. Hope so, anyway. Alex Tellers, I think, is a good option as well there. Big Mac 69, like, it does make a lot of sense because he's not a lot of money either, 30 years of age, something like that. He's more experienced as well, 27 years of age. And if you look at his stats, like, he's scored goals from left back. He's also created a lot of goals and assists. So his stats are pretty impressive for FC Porto. Bear in mind it's in the Portuguese league, but I'm sure Bruno Fernandes probably knows a bunch about him. I'm sure these players, you know, like Bruno was doing it over in Portugal, so there's no reason he couldn't as well. Jack Manny, how you doing? He says, hi, mate, what's going on? Yeah, that's right, Matt Rush. He says, remember Medjbri, top young player. There you go. We've got some options at Manchester United, so we can bring on players. We can bring them through. There's Mengi as well. There's Laird, who's an option. There's Garner. So hopefully we will bring some really good players through. Joseph Misko says, will there be a watch-along tomorrow, Mr. P? We play Villa at 2 p.m. Yeah, I'm going to have a look into it, to be fair to you, because I think they're playing it on MUTV at 10 p.m. If I can get a live stream, if it's televised somewhere in the world live, I will try and do a live watch-along for it, of course, as it's happening. But if it is not, then it's a little bit difficult to do that. Fabian Isaac says, do you play Weekend League? I do. I haven't really played FIFA for a little bit, actually, but yes, I do, mate. Mark Voot says, Matt Rush, Medjbri will be the next young'un to make the first team. Mark Voot, loving it. Nice one, Mark Voot. Hopefully, mate. Kovacevic, Bruno says they will be second in the Bundesliga for the rest of their lives. True. Very difficult to dislodge Bayern. I think they've won it for the last 7 years at least, because I know Thiago's won it the last 7 years while he's been at the football club. So get beamed. What's going on? He says, I hope we offload some deadwood and get Sancho over the line next week. So do I. Get beamed 141. I would love to see Rojo go. I'd love to see Smalling sold. I'd love to see Jones, Pereira, Lingard all gone, to be honest, in this window. It might seem harsh, but I'd like to do that. Yes, I do know Mark Goldbridge, Marion Donovan, unfortunately. Ryan Purposepin 9, Aaron Homeyard says, visit the Flying Pig website, flyingpigunited.com. Thank you, Aaron Homeyard, for getting in here. Ryan Purposepin, Ellie, Jim Joe Bobley, Sean Joseph, what's going on, my friend? Victor Davies, he says they won't be bringing it live, and Victor Davies says not on Sky. Thank you, Sean and Victor. Yeah, it's a bit of a shame. David Whitford, how you doing? If you're just getting in here, guys, you're going to have to go back and watch the start of the video, but if you're just getting in here, smash that like button before you go. Leave a cheeky little like rating on it, get your thoughts and opinions in, and subscribe to the channel. Also, come back after this video is finished and comment in the not live comments. I'd love to have a little bit of a debate and a discussion with you guys there. I will respond to you if you come back and comment. And yeah, so thanks to everybody that does that. Also, you can check out the social media channels, flyingpigunited.com, Flying Pig United on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and also at Mr. Flying Pig HD on Twitter is my personal Twitter as well. So give it a follow. All the links in the description there. Shout out to all you legends for tuning in. Come back, have your say. Do you think United should accept a bid for Dalot? Do you think we should accept that loan offer for Estudiantes from Rojo? Get your thoughts and opinions in about what we should do with our season. Score prediction versus Palace. Jonathan Gallagher says you're just going to have to tune in, Jonathan Gallagher, and watch my preview before the game. I'm not giving anything away just yet, my friend. Of course, we'll be doing a preview for the Crystal Palace game before it takes place, so have a look out for that. Also, the watch along tomorrow versus Villa. Come back for that. Keep a look out on the channel. Don't think it's on televised TV live, but I think it's on MUTV at 10. So we'll probably do the 10 p.m. watch along if that makes any sense for you lads and lasses, just to see how they're getting on. So come back, tune in for that tomorrow. There'll be another transfer show tomorrow afternoon, somewhere between 2:30 and 3:30, depending on what's going on. So we'll jump on here, give you all the latest news, all the latest goings on. Keep a lookout for that tomorrow afternoon. Also, tomorrow evening, 9:30, by the way, this show's going to start every single night at 9:30. So there's going to be no 10 p.m. starts, no 10:30 p.m. starts. 9:30 every single evening is the show time. So tune in 9:30 tomorrow as well, lads and lasses. Actually, no, sorry. It won't be 9:30 tomorrow, actually. Usually it would be 9:30, but because of this Man United game on at 10, that might change. So tomorrow night it might be early, or there might just be one transfer show or something like that. We'll see. It depends what breaking news and what sort of stuff's going on here. If there's not too much more movement, then obviously we won't be doing that. But we are expecting a bit of movement for the Jadon Sancho situation. We'll see if we can get it done. Also Reguilon and a couple of other players. So that's it. I need to have a shave as well. Look at my moustache. It's getting absolutely unwieldy. It's getting unwieldy. I definitely need to have a shave. Starting to look hobo-like, my friends. And I'm sweating my absolute pig off here as well. I mean, look at the state of me. Bloody hell, I'm glistening. Shout out to Arvind Ignatius for subscribing as well. Legend Arvind. Thank you so much for that, Arvind, for getting in here. And everyone else who subscribed tonight. Shout out. Welcome to the Bacon Brigade. You've done the right thing. You've done the right thing. You've subscribed. Super chats come in. Super chat. Joseph Misko, mate. Thank you so much for that, Joseph Misko, lad. He just simply comments with a super chat. Glazers out. Super chat. Why are they all coming through like that? That's not how it's supposed to be. Anyway, guys, thank you for everybody for watching. Love you too, Trooper, David Whitford, Top Lad, Matt Rush, Ellie, Ryan Berberspin 9, Mark Voot. You're all a bunch of legends. Thanks so much for stopping by and getting in here. That's going to be the end of the show. Chuck a like on it. Come back, have your say. And thank you so much for stopping by and getting involved with the Flying Pig United YouTube channel. That's it from me. Appreciate you watching. See you on the next one. QT007, you too, matey. Why does it always keep coming with the super chats coming through now? That makes no sense. Anyway, Stephen Ty, thank you. Victor Davies, Gaz G, Ryan Beverson 9, QT007, Ellie, thank you. And thanks Ryan and Ellie and G Wolf and Aaron and everyone for moderating. Matt Rush, what an absolute transfer guru legend. Follow him on Twitter, MattUnited20. Lynette Giggs, thank you so much for getting in here. Joseph Misko, you're a legend, appreciate it. G Wolf, have a good night, you hero. Ryan Berber, you're a top man. Mark Voot, the Trooper, RD Productions, Gaz Elliott, Mark Voot, everyone, you're a bunch of heroes. This is just the Patreon credits to say thank you to all the people that support this show on Patreon, and also tier 2 channel members on YouTube feature on the list, so you can always become a channel member if you want. You also get access to emojis, but this is all free. We do this, obviously it's completely free on YouTube, so you don't have to. The best way you can support this show is by hitting the like and subscribing and doing all that sort of stuff and sharing it. So do that if you can, if you haven't already, and also just thank you everybody for watching. See you tomorrow, 2:30 to 3:30, somewhere around there for a transfer show. Sleep well everyone. This is the Ping.